Hello guys, I'm back from another video and today we're talking about what if Deku was reincarnated into Genshin Impact. So, in the last video we talked about how after Izuku has been, sleeping, he would basically wake up and would see that it's finally time for him to get ready for the funeral. Apparently, there's this funeral that's happening because of a certain, client. And the reason why he's being brought there is because apparently one of the, or at least the one that actually died, is actually a big fan of him. And not only that, apparently his, grandson is also pretty much a big fan of him. After being told of this, Hu would basically tell him that he should go there so he can, introduce himself to, to the family. I guess you'd say it's like a, I guess you'd say like a final thing before he, actually gets buried. So, while he was walking through the streets of, Leeway, a few people were basically cheering him, and basically looking at him and also whispering. But not in a bad way, just like, a certain, blonde-haired teen with whisker marks, if you get what I mean. Oh boy, I feel absolutely sad for that. Absolutely feel sad about Naruto, by the way. Like, seriously. Anyway, continuing on with the episode. As while Izuku is basically being praised, he would look over and would see in one of the buildings that one of them, specifically one of the buildings on top, was a member of the Fatui, more specifically a Fatui agent that's a pyrofancy type one. That's basically what it is. As he would go invisible, as Izuku would start to think, what the hell is going on? As after thinking that, he would basically start, going with, Utao to the Wangsheng funeral parlor, where Izuku was wearing a green style, funeral type clothing, because apparently, black is mostly for, relatives that are not really, too close to, to the actual dead person, but for white, it's mostly for the people that are pretty much close to the, to the dead person. And for blue and green, I don't really know. I think it's probably for like people that are basically friends with the dead person or something of that sort. But I probably might be wrong with that. If you want to tell me in the comments at least. So as Izuku would arrive at the funeral, basically being there, some of the people were basically surprised seeing him there. And most of them were thinking it was just a joke that Izuku would come and basically join this funeral. I mean, who would expect the number one, the number one celebrity over here, aka, the hero of Leeway, to basically come and visit us, just the normal ass family. But oh boy, they were wrong. And let's just say everybody was a bit excited knowing that Izuku is basically joining their funeral, or at least the funeral of their, deceased grandpa, deceased grandpa slash uncle slash, you basically get it. As well, Izuku's basically, seeing the, dead man and some of the people crying, he would look over and would see a young boy. Apparently the young boy was the young boy that was, pretty much a big fan of him. And after seeing him, he would ask for an autograph, as after getting Izuku's autograph, he would basically, start leaving, as everybody is finally bringing the guy to to his resting place, aka where he's gonna get buried. After getting buried, they would arrive back home and they would have a feast, celebrating his death. But not in the, yeah, he's finally dead type of thing. No, more like the mourning type of thing. So, after that, we basically ended off the episode as all five of his girls, not really all five of them, I mean there's two left in, Inazuma, but still, as all five of them would basically fall asleep. Back in, Xiangling's house. So yeah, so that is basically what happened last episode. And so, let's talk about what happens next. So, as Izuku would wake up, he would see a few of his girls were basically still sitting on top of him, including, a sleeping Lamine, as Lamine is basically whispering, yeah, I'm pretty much okay with it, Izuku. She was basically whispering that, as Izuku would say this. As typical for Lamine, he would basically say, as he would basically take off his arm, specifically his left arm, off of not Lumina, Noelle, as he would basically grab onto her head and would basically start, patting her. After that, he would basically get out of her, grasp and would start getting out of there so he can do his daily exercise. because he's been not doing it lately. It's about, a few days, not really a few days, but more like a few weeks ever since he came to Leeway again. As, while he was basically jogging, he would see a few new faces, which he never met before. One was interesting to say the least. A young boy with white hair and also another young boy with blue hair seem to be fighting. Something about like spirits being real or something, or saying that like, this book's actually filled with ghosts, but apparently it's saying it's absolutely inaccurate. But Izuku just ignored those two and would just start leaving. If you can guess who these two boys are, then I don't know, I will give you a cookie on the internet, I don't know. If you can guess who these two boys are in the comments, then maybe I can let you request any what if I want. Like, for example, maybe maybe want a what if about, I don't know, anything at least, okay? Anyway, continuing on with the episode, after a while of Izuku basically just like, jogging, he would basically look over and would see that he's near atop of hill. As Izuku would say this, maybe I should just rest here for now. As he would basically lay down on a tree that's basically on the hill, basically, as he would basically start, resting on it, basically leaning over it, and would say this. That felt quite relaxing, to say the least, he would basically say, as he would start, looking at his hands, as he would say this. It's been a few years ever since I got reincarnated here, and it's been interesting to say the least. Not only that, I actually became a hero. How ironic. Me becoming a villain in my past life and now becoming a hero. And they say that I couldn't become a hero. Sort of, he would basically say in his mind. But he would start, standing up and he would say this. Alright, I should probably get back. But before he can, get out of there, he would basically be stopped by a few people, as one of them would say this. Well, well, well. So, you must be Izuku of the Thousand Elements, right? As Izuku would hear that voice, as he would look over and would see a Fatui agent wielding a knife, as he would say this. So, we're here to capture you, as Izuku would say this. You in what army? As he would say this. Well, as he would snap his fingers. As a few people would basically come out of the bushes. Mostly citizen mages, or at least I think that's the actual pronunciation of these types of mages. And a large ass woman, to say the least. Like, seriously, she's pretty tall. Like, just imagine, And, this lady was pretty tall, not only that. She seems to have a few mirrors basically floating around her, at least I think so. Let me actually just check. These weird-looking crystal-like mirrors are basically around her, as she would say this. There is no escape, Mr. Izuku. As these mirrors would basically surround him as he was stuck, as he would say, what the hell is going on? As one of the citizen mages would say this. Well, we're here to take you. After all, the Tsaritsa wants you, after all. Because ever since you killed La Signora, we decided to try and find a new member, so why not you? As Izuku would say this, I'm sorry, but I'm no way not going to become your, little lapdog. As one of them would say this, specifically a large-ass man wielding a hammer, and seems to be a part of the electro, element or something of that sort. As he would say this, well, you don't really have a choice. Now, we should probably bring you to, what's his name? As he would basically start, touching it, not really touching, but more like, rubbing his chin, as one of them would say this. I think his name was like, what's his fucking face, he would basically say. As one of them would say this. You mean Clownface? As he would say this. No, that's his nickname. What's his actual name? As the mirror maiden would say this. You absolute idiots. His name is Dottore. He can probably, brainwash him or something. Just like that colleague or whatever his name is. It doesn't really matter, she would say, but I would gladly use him. After all, if he really becomes a Fatui Harbinger, I can definitely see the benefits. Especially as she would look over, or at least not really look over. I mean, Izuku doesn't really see her actual eyes, basically moving toward his crotch, but oh boy, as Izuku would feel, why do I feel like I'm about to be molested? He would basically think in his mind. As, one of the members would obviously notice this, as he would say this. Don't tell me that you're a Shotokan, he would basically say, as she would say this. How dare you say that? Anyway, we should probably bring him now. And so they would start bringing Izuku towards a little place. Specifically where they're going to, bring him to Shiznaya. As Izuku is basically struggling, screaming out, "Somebody get me out of this!" But all of them are currently being annoyed, except for, the Mirror Maiden, because she's sort of, trained how to, at least ignore some of the bullshit that she has to deal with. The Harvesters. Anyway, continuing on with the episode. While she was basically, dealing with all of this, they would not notice that a few people were watching them. One of them specifically being, Mr. Zhongli, basically noticing this, as you would say this. It seems so they decided to break our contract. Even though I'm no longer the Archon of, the Archon of the city no more. Sort of. I still have to protect the innocent. Zhao. As Zhao would come out of nowhere, as he would say this. Yes, Morax. As he would say this. I want you to take care of him. Take care of Izuku and try to save him. As he would say this. Sure. After saying that, he would basically get out of there and would charge towards them. As he would say this. Karmic retribution! After saying that, he would basically create a large, area of spears, basically slicing through them, as one of them would say this. What the hell? As one of them would say this. That's the Yaksha! Get away from him! As all of them would get ready their, weapons, including, some of the system mages. But he would say this. Time for retribution! After saying that, he would start wearing the mask and would start charging towards them with his plunging attack, basically creating several spears that pierce through them but not killing them. As some of the Fatui, agents would start running away in fear. The system mages and also the main mirror mage would start running away as well, knowing that they're, defeated. As he would say this. Izuku, are you okay? As Izuku would say this. Xiao? Why are you here? And how did you find me? As he would say this. Well, Master Morax, he followed you. After finding out that you were being captured, he told me to try and save you. As Izuku would say this. I see. That was annoying to deal with, he would say, as he would say this. Yeah, I agree. Now, Izuku, you should probably start leaving. Actually, for some odd reason, I can do a pretty convincing, Zhao voice. Actually, it's sounding more like, a bit of Razor a little bit, not gonna lie, but, just ignore that. As Izuku would say this. Sure, Zhao. As Zhao would say this. Now, I'm planning to get some tofu. As Izuku would say this. Good luck on that, I guess. As he would start leaving as Zhao goes his merry way. After arriving back home, he would see a few of the girls basically worried. As one of them would say this. Izuku, you're okay. Where have you been? As Izuku would say this. Let's just say I've been exercising a bit too long, and I didn't know that it was pretty late. Not really late, but as you would look at, I guess you'd say a clock? I mean, I don't remember if Genshin Impact really does have clocks, but let's just say it does. And it would realize that it's about lunchtime at this point, as Izuku would say this. Yeah, really sorry about that. As, Shangmin would say this. Don't worry. Besides, we can have, lunch now. As Izuku would say this. Sure? As you'd notice a bit of worriedness in her face. As, Izuku would start going onto the table and would start eating. After eating, Izuku would say this to, Shangling. Hey, Shangling, why do you seem worried? As she would say this. Oh, well, you see, I'm, planning to do a party, and it's for a friend. As Izuku would say this. A friend? As she would say this. Yeah, her name is Yanfei. I'm maybe planning to make a party for her, but I don't really have enough people to basically help me out. Mostly because I'm the only worker there. As easy could say this. So, you want me to help you? And maybe even, help you make this party for her? Or something? As she would say this. Yeah, it's her birthday, and I really want to help her out. She's been overworking for a long time now, so I want to, at least help her out. As easy could say this. Sure, I can do that. As she would say this. Wait, really? As easy could say this. Yeah, you're basically my girlfriend, and anybody that's basically a friend of my girlfriend, then they're a friend of mine. As she would say this. Cool. As a few of her friends, specifically, her harem sisters, aka Lumi and Hao, Noelle and, Amber would also agree, and would say that they're also planning to help her out as well. As you know, she would start crying a little bit as she'd say this. Good. Now, let's do this. As all of them would fist bump and would start going off to the restaurant. As all of them would start preparing the plates and also, some of the tables. As while they were doing this, they would, Izuku would obviously get the invitations and would bring them out to the rest of the, people that are basically invited. Like, for example, Zhongli and, Kiching. Which Kiching was pretty surprised because she was actually a bit busy at the time and would pretty much be happy if, she would not have to deal with the paperwork. Yeah, technically she is a bit of a workaholic in canon, but this time I'm probably gonna make her a little bit less, work oriented, sort of. So, as after this happens, a few people were basically outside the restaurant, including Yanfei, because Yanfei was not really, knowing of this, because she thought it was some sort of, important business about her restaurant, or at least, her friend's restaurant. After seeing a lot of people there, she would say this, what is going on exactly? She would say, as, wait for a second, as, yeah, Shangling would say this, well, she would basically tell her to go inside, as when she looked inside, she would see a lot of people and they would say, surprise! As everybody is basically bringing out, I guess you could say, like, similar to, I guess you can say, like, what are they actually called? Those popper things where they shoot out, confetti. As she would say this, what is going on? As Shanglin would say this, well, it's your birthday after all. As Izuku would be there, as you would say this, oh, hello, I actually never met you, so, as she would say this, wait, you're Izuku of the Thousand Elements, right? As Izuku would say this, first of all, just call me Izuku. Second of all, yeah, I am. As she would say this, what are you doing here? And I thought you might have gone back to, yeah, to Mondstadt. As Izuku would say this, well, I'm visiting because, my girlfriend over there. As she would basically look surprised, as she would look over to, Shangling, as she would say this, yeah, I forgot to tell you that, I sort of sort of gone a boyfriend. She would basically say, as she would look over at Izuku, as she would say this, did you do anything to her? As Izuku would say this, no, it's nothing like that, I swear. And by the way, it's consensual, I swear. As she would say this, good. Because I don't want to, at least bring you to jail. Maybe, she would basically say, as Izuku would say this, don't you dare. As she would say this, oh, I will dare. After my, my birthday, she would basically say, so the people would start, getting their delicious food, because obviously, with Shangling basically cooking, well, it would probably be the best. Taking bets, like, just imagine a battle between, like, Soma from, what is that called? Food Wars, or at least I think that's his name. Yeah. Fighting against Emiya and Shangling on the side. Just imagine them fighting in a Shokugeki. Oh god, just imagine that. Oh boy, that would sound chaotic as all hell. So, after, while eating and a bit of partying and, some little incident of, like, of Shangli basically saying, Osmanthus, why? I always wanted to say that. Osmanthus wine. And the good old days. I can just imagine him saying Just like everybody's just like looking at him saying, why the fuck do we bring this old man here? After that, everybody would start leaving after, Yanfei's birthday, as Xiangling would be there with Yanfei all alone, as she would say this. So, what do you think about your birthday? As she would say this. Well, it was pretty surprising. I usually don't really celebrate my birthday because, my, job. She would say this. Well, I know, and decided to maybe, help you out by maybe letting you relax for now. I mean, why not? She would say this. Yeah. Thank you. You're like the best sister, even though I didn't really have any siblings growing up. As she would say this. Yeah, I guess you could say that. As after that, they would start hugging. So, after doing that, they would basically go their separate ways as Yanfei would basically grab her cake, which was made by Izuku because he knows how to cook. I mean, sort of, because back in his, old world, back when he was still working as All For One's, predecessor, or whatever you want to call it, or basically student, as Izuku was basically acting as an assassin to basically take care of the Hero Commission, more specifically the president of the Hero Commission. And he would make a cake with a special type of poison that would kill her instantly. And yeah, that's how he learned how to make cake, but thankfully this cake doesn't have any poison. This time vanilla. Yeah, thankfully it isn't poison because Yanfei is definitely gonna burn their asses for that. Anyway, for that. As Izuku is basically, cleaning all of the dishes with the help of, a certain, blonde-haired, Lumine over there, as after, a bit of, like, washing dishes and also, let's just say getting a little bit annoyed when, and apparently a certain little, Paimon accidentally drank wine and is now basically just, like, drunk flying. Oh boy, let's just say Izuku is trying to find her instantly, because he's basically just a child at that point. So, while Izuku was doing that, Lumine was basically laughing the whole time, as she would say this. I can't believe Paimon actually drank. She would basically say, as Izuku would say this. God damn it, Lumine, try and help me. As Lumine would say this. Sorry, I can't stop laughing. She would basically start saying, as, Amber would be there, as she would say this. Well, that's pretty surprising, she would say, as Noelle would say this. Yeah, pretty much, she would say. And after a while, basically, laughing at, the whole situation, they would realize that it's probably, pretty late. As after that, they would basically start leaving, going back to Xiangling's home. After arriving at Xiangling's, house, they would basically start, getting ready to go to sleep, as Hutao would basically leave, going back to her, home. And so, as Izuku was about to go to sleep, Izuku would see all four of his girls basically holding onto each of his limbs. And so, Izuku would fall to sleep. And as for Paimon is being restrained from not doing anything else. Like, she's just basically chained to the bed, trying not to, she's basically trying to get out of there, trying to, get more booze or something. Yeah, so this is probably going to be the end of this episode. Yeah, it's pretty much a short one because, I'm probably going to be making, I'm going to be probably going to make tomorrow's episode maybe about finally them basically going to Inazuma, and oh boy, it's definitely going to be interesting to say the least, because, let's just say, when all four of the girls would realize that he's basically dated an Archon, well, oh boy, this is definitely going to be chaotic to say the least now. So yeah, that is going to be the end of this episode, and so, I hope you liked the video, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye!